Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 197 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast. I'm Christine.
And I'm Sam.
Here's what's coming up in today's show. This week's Y-Files explains how a particularly wily campsite visitor has been stealing some unusual belongings from campers.
In our Noteworthy segment, we'll tell you how 20 vegan products rank at Trader Joe's.
That's always fun.
Always.
And in our main topic, we'll discuss what some are calling moral offsetting. Can people buy their way out of feeling bad for eating animals? We'll try to find out. But before we get into all that, like we usually do, let's talk a little bit about what the heck we've been up to.
It's been a nice long weekend.
Yeah, hey, happy Labor Day.
Indeed.
To all of those who labor. And I'm sorry for those of you who labor that didn't get the day off, because there's a lot of you out there. Anybody that works retail.
Seriously.
A lot of farm workers are not getting, migrant farm workers do not get today off. So, but it is nice to have a long weekend.
It really is.
Saturday, we went to my nephew's and we had Beyond Burgers and corn on the cob and some salad. It was so good.
Oh, the corn on the cob was epic.
It was so summery.
And it was our first corn on the cob of the season.
It was. What's wrong with us?
I don't know.
I know.
Because it is so good.
I know. It's delicious.
And I was so glad to find out that Trey and Savannah are rollers. They believe that corn on the cob should be rolled on the top of a stick of vegan butter.
Yeah, I grabbed my corn and Savannah says, "What, you're not going to butter it and put salt?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I was just going to do it the civilized way and take a little pat of butter and rub it on my corn."
No. What's wrong with you? Because that's not how you butter corn.
Because the way I look at it is now you have this stick of butter in your refrigerator that's been cornified.
Yeah, but they don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's no big deal.
They were completely cool with it.
Yeah, that's no big deal.
Yeah.
And if I was at home, I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
But since it was somebody else's stick of butter, I decided, since I was the first one up with the corn, that I wouldn't cornify the whole stick of butter.
But they had purchased that butter specifically so that it could be cornified. So,
And just so we all know, cornified is probably not a word.
It is now.
Anyway, it was a really nice summery meal. We had a good time. Great. My sister made these incredible bar cookies that were kind of brownie-ish, but they had oats and raisins and
chocolate chips.
They were really good.
Yeah, they were really, really good. Crispy on the outside, nice and chewy on the inside.
Yeah. And
really nice flavor profile.
They were vegan and gluten-free because she and my niece are gluten-free.
Right.
My niece on top of being vegan. And I said to my sister, "You got to send me that recipe." She's like, "I got to figure out what I did first." Because she kind of made it up. But it turned out perfectly. So
it really did. And so, truly one of Linda's best dessert recipes that we've tried.
I love them. And sticking with the food thing, do you have anything else to talk about as far as what we were up to?
Well, I've been doing a lot of crafting this weekend.
Yeah.
Most of yesterday, all day today.
A lot of creating for upcoming Veg Fests.
A lot of creating for Veg Fests, yes, because, gifting season is going to be upon us before you know it.
It is.
And so I've been making some new stuff.
Yeah, some scarf sets, scarf and hat and scrunchie sets, which are really, really cute.
Yes, they're pretty great.
Is, they're all vegan, all vegan fibers.
Of
we
course.
Don't use any animal fibers or anything. No. But yeah, Sam's been working her little fingers to the bone.
Indeed.
Making things for upcoming Veg Fests.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, in keeping with the food vein, which we kind of veered off of, but that's fine. We have a recipe this week.
We do.
So here is this week's recipe from our vegan kitchen.
This week, we're looking at Christine's breaded zucchini panini. I love the zucchini panini. Not only does it rhyme, but it is absolutely fabulous.
It's a pretty good sandwich.
No. No. See, if I say it's absolutely fabulous, you don't then get to say, it's pretty good.
I made it, so I don't like to toot my own horn.
Well, please, toot away.
Okay.
Yeah, toot away, because this is a fantastic sandwich.
Yeah, I do a breaded and pan-fried zucchini. And then I do it kind of Mediterranean style. I put tomato and cheese and basil, and it's really good. And then I panini it.
It's fantastic.
I have a grill pan. I don't have a panini press, but what I do is I have a grill pan that I put on the stove. And then on top of the sandwiches, I put this really heavy cast iron kettle that I have, and that paninis them. Yeah. Sam's like, oh, I should get you a panini press. I'm like, oh, no. We have things that do the same job.
Okay, then.
So why have another appliance that we really
sure,
don't?
and I'm all for that. That's totally cool. No panini press for you.
Yeah, and if you get our newsletter, which you should get our newsletter, please sign up for our newsletter. But if you are on our list and get our newsletter, I didn't have a picture of said panini when I created the newsletter because last time we made it, we ate it so fast I forgot to take pictures.
This is true.
But we made it again. When was that? Just yesterday? Or 2 days ago?
No, a couple days. I want to say Friday? It was like Friday night. Yeah.
And then I managed to get pictures of it. So I will share pictures, on our social media if you want to see what the zucchini panini looks like. It's a really good sandwich. And it could be really expanded upon. Like I think it would
Absolutely.
I think it would be good with some maybe artichoke hearts and
yes. Because for me, as soon as you made this, I was thinking, oh wow, this rivals the Mediterranean panini at Upper Crust.
Oh, yeah, which is a small bakery and cafe near where we live. Yes. And not only do they do a breaded and pan-fried zucchini, they do a breaded and pan-fried eggplant.
They don't do zucchini.
Oh, it's just eggplant?
It's eggplant.
Oh, I thought they did
eggplant and then
zucchini.
Roasted red peppers, artichoke hearts,
okay,
Kalamata olives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so adding any of those things to this flavor profile would also work so beautifully.
Anything within the Mediterranean realm will work on this sandwich. And kind of like with the panini, the more the merrier because you're going to press it way down anyway. Yep. So yeah, good stuff.
Yep.
Good stuff. And if you want the recipe, it's a pretty simple recipe, but I am going to put it up on our Patreon for the people in our Patreon community. If you want the recipe, it'll be over there. So with that, I think we'll just move along to this week's Why Files. In this week's Why Files, visitors to Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming responded in a surprising way to a wily fox nicknamed the Sneaker Snatcher, the New York Times reported on July 17th. The National Park Service posted wanted signs to warn campers that a fox was stealing shoes from campsites. But as the total number of shoes ballooned to 32, park staff realized people were intentionally leaving their footwear accessible to the four-legged Jesse James, just in case he visits. A video posted to Instagram pleads with visitors, don't bait wildlife with your belongings. Feeding or encouraging wildlife can put animals at risk, the park advised.
And that is, of course, absolutely true.
Yeah.
Now, what I have to wonder here, because I too would want to see this stealthy fox who is stealing people's shoes.
Yeah.
I have to ask, what is he doing with people's shoes?
Yeah, what is he doing? Is he selling them?
Yeah, seriously. Is this a reselling operation?
He's got like this huge sneaker collection and hiking shoes collection.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just so curious.
Yeah.
Find, have they, tracked down his den or his warren?
Not so far.
Where they could find all of the shoes?
Yeah, not so far. I don't know if he's just going home and, trying them on or what is happening.
Because that's kind of mystifying to me.
Is.
Number one, why is he drawn to shoes in particular?
Shoes.
And what is he doing with them?
Yeah, what is he doing with them?
I'm so curious.
I mean, he's just collecting them, I would imagine.
Yes, probably, but why?
Who knows?
It is the why files, after all. You have to ask.
And this is why.
Why?
This is why we ask why in the why files. We don't always have the answer to that why.
No.
But it is definitely a big old why.
Yes, it is, for sure.
I don't know what do they call him? The sneaker snatcher. I don't know what the sneaker snatcher is doing with all of these shoes. And please, people, do not purposefully leave your shoes out at Teton National Park hoping to capture the sneaker snatcher on film.
Yeah.
Because, as the Park Service says, it's never a good idea to lure wildlife.
Definitely not.
Into where they're going to be interacting with humans.
That's right.
With food, with shoes, with whatever the wildlife wants to steal. But, I mean, fox, I guess, they don't call them wily for no reason.
No, they don't.
Maybe they do like to collect things, like ferrets. Ferrets like to do that.
Ferrets do like to collect shiny things. It's true.
I had a friend that had a pet ferret, and her pet ferret stole everything. Hairbrushes, anything, makeup, compacts, anything you left out. If you left it out, it was going to get stolen. And then every once in a while, they would like move the furniture and find all of his little stashes.
Oh, that's really
cool. And he
that's
did literally just stashed them, for his own entertainment.
Yeah. You can't blame him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining that's what the sneaker snatcher is doing. He's just doing it for fun.
You know what? I kind of support that.
Yeah. For entertainment.
Yeah.
You got to wonder exactly how many pairs of shoes does he have?
Well, according to this, 16.
Well, that's how many people have reported that their shoes.
Well, no. It's the total number of shoes.
Yeah, but how do they know?
Well, it says in the article.
I know,
but it says, but as the total number of shoes ballooned to 32. So 32 shoes have been reported missing.
That's what I'm saying. But there could be more, because some people might not be reporting the shoes missing because they don't know that the shoes were stolen by a fox.
Well, that could be. And also this article was from, mid-July. Yeah. So we can only assume
that could be twice as many.
That there have been more thefts since then.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was a really interesting article, and I've never heard of fox stealing things like that.
No, neither have I.
So it's interesting behavior. And, it does always make you wonder how animals change their behaviors when they're put into situations where there's a lot of humans around, Like raccoons will also start to do crazy stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
If they're allowed to coexist with humans. So,
well, I mean, a pair of absolutely adorable baby raccoons is why we stopped feeding our birds in the summer.
Yeah, we had a couple of twins that were just ravaging our bird feeders.
It was absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
We would watch them kind of like sneak their way up the driveway and then into our front garden, where they would climb up the pole that the bird feeders were hanging on. Yeah. And then they would just swing on the bird feeders, knocking all the seed
to come
out.
And you couldn't chase them away.
No.
They would just look at you like, what? And then keep doing what they were doing. Yeah.
And they were really adorable. And I would have been perfectly happy for them to keep coming around just so I could watch them, because they were amazing.
Yeah, they are cute.
But, Christine said no. And so we stopped feeding our birds in the summer.
Like the park rangers say, it's not a good idea to feed wildlife like that, because then they, especially when they're young like that, because then they come to depend on it.
Sure.
And if it's not there anymore, they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
That's
true. That's absolutely true.
The most I do as far as wildlife now is if I peel an apple or cut an apple, I'll throw the core outside. Mm-hmm. That's the most I do. We don't really feed any of the other wildlife. And I know the squirrels carry them away or whatever. So.
Yeah. No, we do make sure that we have native plants that local animals would want to chomp on.
Yeah, and we
don't supplement that.
We have a huge oak tree in the front of our house that provides a ton of food for all of the wildlife in our area. I only know this because the chipmunks were actually getting into the house and storing their acorns in our laundry baskets. So, yeah. So it is a good idea not to feed animals or leave your shoes out for them.
Yep.
It's time for our Noteworthy segment.
This week, we're looking at the 20 best vegan products at Trader Joe's, definitively ranked.
Yes.
This is according to Veg Out magazine.
Yep, according to Maya Flores at Veg Out.
Yes, they have systematically tried every plant-based option at Trader Joe's, and these are the things that actually deserve space in your cart. I watched a customer frantically text photos of the empty shelf where vegan feta used to live, asking her friend if she'd seen it at other stores. That's when I realized Trader Joe's vegan products inspire the kind of devotion usually reserved for discontinued makeup or vintage band tees. So I spent 2 months systematically trying every plant-based product they currently stock, from the obvious winners to the items hiding behind misleading names. The criteria: everything had to be currently available as of late 2025, genuinely good regardless of dietary restrictions, and worth buying for reasons beyond just being dairy-free. Because here's what nobody mentions. Half of Trader Joe's best vegan products aren't even labeled vegan. They're just accidentally perfect.
That's so true. And it's funny because
it is true.
They have a lot of things that are labeled vegan, and then they have a ton of stuff that's just accidentally vegan. And I don't know why those products don't label.
Right. Starting off with number 20, we have their vegetable spring rolls, which vary in price from store to store from $3.99 to $4.49. They taste exactly like every frozen spring roll you've had, which is both their limitation and their reliable appeal. The wrapper crisps well in the oven, the vegetables maintain some texture, and they're dependable in that Tuesday night emergency way. They make the list because sometimes predictable is exactly what you need. Serve with a sweet chili sauce.
Yes, and we've gotten those many times. We usually buy them around the holidays because they're a good snack to put out when you have company. Mm-hmm. I guess I don't know if they taste exactly like every other frozen spring roll because I haven't had every other frozen spring roll, but I think they're pretty good. And like she says in this article, the vegetables inside of them, it's not just mush in there.
No, it's not.
You can tell what
cabbage,
they are.
The carrots, the edamame, the mushrooms, they all do maintain some texture, which is nice.
And they're not too oily or anything either. They're really good.
Yeah. And I find that they're even less oily when you do them in an air fryer as opposed to the oven.
Yeah.
Next, we have the Rainbow Veggie Wrap.
Coming in at $19.
Yes, which retails at $4.99. This is one of their grab-and-go lunch options, and it doesn't need heating. The hummus is notably garlicky. The vegetables stay crisp through refrigeration, and someone in product development understood that structural integrity matters in a wrap. The tortilla adds visual interest that makes desk lunch feel less repetitive. It does contain wheat and sesame.
Yeah, and we've never had an opportunity to try the Rainbow Veggie Wrap.
Actually, I have had it.
Oh, you have?
I have.
Oh, I haven't.
Yes. Once, way back in the day, we were down near Owens.
Oh, and you picked one up then.
I picked one up then.
I do vaguely remember that. And they're only $4.99. Mm-hmm. So that's a, quick and inexpensive lunch.
Yeah, much better than you could do heading out for fast food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Coming in at number 18, we have the Cashew Fiesta Dip, which retails from $3.49 to $3.99. Formerly labeled as queso, this aggressively orange dip leans into what it is: cashew-based cheese sauce that works. It's slightly spicy, melts into something resembling nacho cheese, and performs best when you don't overthink it. The cashew base is noticeable if you're looking for it, but most people just taste cheese dip and move on. For those with allergies, should be known, this does contain tree nuts.
Yeah, I think we have tried this, and it's funny, I didn't realize that they changed it from queso to Fiesta Dip.
Right.
So, not to confuse people into thinking that it's dairy cheese.
Right. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
At number 17, we have the vegetable pad thai, which retails for $3.49. The sauce saves this entirely. It is sweet, tangy, with enough tamarind to make it interesting. The rice noodles maintain their texture after microwaving, which feels notable for a frozen entree. It needs protein. Add baked tofu or edamame, but as frozen pad thai goes, this one delivers on its basic promise. It contains peanuts and soy.
Have we tried this?
Yes, I have had the vegetable pad thai more than once, actually.
I think we have gotten this.
And I completely agree with this assessment.
Yeah.
In terms of flavor, it does pretty well, but there's not a lot of nutrition to it.
Yeah,
I feel
it's not going to be very satiating.
No. So I agree that it should have some baked tofu or some edamame, something going on in there that will make it a little bit more nourishing.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it is a good in a pinch, got home really late from work, you're already asleep kind of snack.
Yeah, and for $3.50, you kind of can't go wrong.
Yes.
At 16,
I've not had this yet.
Dill pickle mini falafel.
And I feel like I need to. This is a seasonal item, and it retails for $4.49. These summer seasonal items caused excitement in online vegan communities for good reason. They taste exactly as advertised. Falafel that's been infused with pickle brine. About 30 to 35 pieces per bag means you'll snack through half before dinner. They're unusual enough to be memorable, familiar enough to be craveable.
Yeah, that's interesting. Dill pickle falafel.
It really is. So, we've been talking about doing a Trader Joe's run relatively soon.
Yeah, we'll see if they have them.
And we'll have to see if they have them because I do love falafel and I also love dill pickles.
Yeah. And yeah, when she says that online vegan groups, it's so funny how many Trader Joe's vegan groups there are on social media.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yep. Next, we have dairy-free mozzarella-style shreds, which sell for $3.99. This is the coconut oil-based version, not the cashew one. It actually melts, which puts it ahead of most vegan cheese. The texture is best when hot, on pizza, in quesadillas, over pasta. When cold, the texture becomes noticeably different from dairy cheese, but in application, it performs well. Look for it in a purple labeled bag.
I don't think we've ever tried any of Trader Joe's shredded
I don't think we
cheeses.
have either.
Yeah.
And coconut oil, I don't know. Yes, it melts beautifully. It's a staple in vegan baking, to be sure, but I try to avoid things that lead off with coconut oil just because it is so incredibly high in saturated fats.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, most dairy cheeses have coconut oil.
Right.
Most of them do. If not, right at the beginning of the ingredients, somewhere in there, there's going to be coconut oil.
Okay.
And yeah, we've never tried these, but $3.99, that's a good price for
it is. So,
non-dairy.
maybe the next time we decide to make pizza,
we'll give it a shot.
I'll make a really good dough. We'll get some of these mozzarella style shreds and off we'll go.
Yeah, top it with some dill pickle falafels.
Next, we've got crispy, crunchy mochi rice nuggets, which sell for $3.49. An under-the-radar snack that deserves more attention. These okaki rice crackers mixed with crunchy mochi create an addictive texture combination. Crispy, then chewy, then crispy again. The soy glaze is perfectly balanced between sweet and salty. One bag rarely survives a single sitting. And they are naturally gluten-free.
Oh, we've never tried these.
I've never seen them.
I haven't either. But to be fair, I've never looked for them.
Yes, that's true. But we do tend to keep our eyes open for things that we've never seen before at Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Just in case they're introducing new vegan products.
Yeah.
So,
and even though she has it listed as number 14 on her top 20, maybe they're really popular and they're just never in stock when we go.
Maybe. At 13, we have Thai wheat noodles for $3.99. 3 individual servings, pre-sauced, ready in 3 minutes. The sesame soy dressing creates an umami depth that makes you pause mid-bite. They're satisfyingly chewy with a silky texture. Add steamed broccoli and sriracha for a meal that tastes more deliberate than its preparation time suggests. Contains both wheat and soy.
$3.99. That's good. There's a lot of, the instant noodle world is not what it used to be.
No.
It's not just top ramen anymore.
It's really not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've found several ramens that I am a big fan of.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that they show up on this list.
Yeah.
To be honest, but we'll see. At number 12, we have the Kung Pao Tempura Cauliflower, which retails between $4.99 and $5.49. Frozen cauliflower that maintains crispness after reheating shouldn't be possible, yet here we are. The Kung Pao sauce has legitimate heat, not the apologetic spice level that often happens with mainstream products. It's the strongest of the frozen Asian-inspired entrees, which is a surprisingly competitive category at TJ's. Contains wheat and soy.
We've gotten this.
We have gotten these.
And it comes with sauce on the side.
Yes.
And didn't we decide we liked it better without the sauce?
Yes, we did. We decided that, so we crisped up the cauliflower and then tossed them in the sauce. And we found that the sauce kind of broke down the crispness of the cauliflower.
And it was a little overpowering.
Yeah,
so if you get these, the Kung Pao tempura cauliflower, make the cauliflower plain. Don't toss it in the sauce like they tell you to do.
Instead,
dip it.
Use it as dipping sauce.
Yeah, dip it.
Yeah, that's definitely what we would do. At number 11 is one of our absolute favorites from Trader Joe's.
Yeah, we haven't gotten this in a while.
We haven't. It is their vegan tzatziki dip, which sells for $3.99. The surprise hit of the refrigerated section. It doesn't replicate dairy tzatziki exactly, but it creates something equally good. Tangy, dill forward with cucumber providing texture. The cashew base adds richness without heaviness. It's become the go-to condiment for falafel, wraps, and raw vegetables. Contains tree nuts. I love this stuff.
Though she says it doesn't replicate dairy tzatziki. Maybe it's been too long since I've had dairy tzatziki, but I think it's pretty close.
It's as close as I've seen anywhere, to be completely honest. And it does go beautifully on wraps, on sandwiches, as a dip for vegetables. It is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. Next we have, so now we're getting into the top 10.
That's right. Coming in at number 10.
We have the organic creamy cashew cultured yogurt alternative, which sells for $1.99. Fermented cashews develop real tang here. It's thick enough to stay on a spoon, mild enough to accept whatever fruit you add, and avoids the artificial sweetness that plagues many non-dairy yogurts. The plain version works in savory applications. The vanilla handles breakfast duty. Both represent genuine innovation in dairy alternatives. Contains tree nuts.
For $1.99, I wonder how large of the container is of this. It doesn't say. Because that's a really good price if it's like a normal, bigger size thing of yogurt.
Right. I have a feeling it might be more of a single serving.
A single serving
size?
For
$1.99, I have a feeling it might be a single serving.
Yeah. I've never tried this.
Me either. I generally don't eat vegan yogurt just in and of itself.
Yeah.
The way we tend to get our vegan yogurt is through Christine making dressings and sauces and dips and things like that.
Yeah. We use it to make other things.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or you can make vegan naan with it.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Make vegan naan with it. Ooh, we have to do that. Naan sounds really good. Okay.
Coming in at number 9 is the Korean beefless bulgogi,
which sells for $4.49. The marinade does the heavy lifting, and what excellent lifting it is. Sweet, savory, with enough garlic and ginger to make you forget you're eating textured soy protein. It crisps beautifully in a pan, absorbs whatever vegetables you add, and creates rice bowls that satisfy devoted carnivores. The texture is remarkably meat-like when seared correctly. Contains soy and wheat.
I agree. It is very meat-like. But when we had it, it was really good the night I made it, but there were leftovers, and we didn't like it left over. Something changed.
Yeah, and I can't put my finger on what changed. And
it was flavor-wise. I think it
was both flavor and texture for me.
Yeah, flavor-wise for me, it was like that they probably put liquid smoke in it, and the liquid smoke became really intense after.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Being refrigerated.
I had a visceral reaction to it. No, I'm serious.
You were like, blah.
Well, no, I mean, I actually couldn't swallow it.
Yeah, you didn't like it.
I didn't
texturally
at all.
And
right. And so the first night we had it, it was pretty good.
It was pretty good,
but it did not carry over into leftovers.
No, people rave about this beefless bulgogi though. People love it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the first night we tried it, it was really good. I wouldn't rave about it, but I thought the texture and the flavor was pretty good. But yeah, leftover, not so much.
At number 8, we have soy rizo, which sells from $2.49 to $2.99. Not to be confused with soycutash, a different product, this soy chorizo remains one of TJ's longest-running success stories. The price point is unbeatable for something that tastes more like chorizo than many meat versions. The spice level hits perfectly, it crisps beautifully, and transforms everything it touches. Scrambled eggs, roasted potatoes, pasta, pizza, there's nothing this doesn't improve. Contains soy.
Yeah, we've had this. It is good.
It is. It's very good.
We don't buy it regularly or anything when we're at Trader Joe's, but we've tried it, and as far as a vegan chorizo, it's pretty good.
And you know what? I'm thinking when we do get to Trader Joe's in the not too distant future, we need to get some of this because I'm thinking tofu scramble with chorizo one morning.
Yeah.
That sounds fabulous.
Yeah, tofu scramble with vegan chorizo is good.
Yeah.
We've done it before, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
And then with potatoes, and you can make like a hash.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good.
This is sounding great.
And $2.49 to $2.99 is really reasonably priced.
Seriously, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Next, we have the vegetable kimbap, which sells for $4.99. Korean convenience store food that happens to be vegan. Seasoned rice, crispy vegetables, and seasoned tofu wrapped in seaweed that stays crisp despite refrigeration. Each piece is perfectly portioned, the sesame oil is present without being overwhelming, and it's the only prepared food that genuinely feels handmade. Now, this one is available in limited stores, and it contains soy and sesame.
I have seen this at the Trader Joe's that we go to, but we've never picked it up.
No, but I'm thinking maybe we should.
We should give it a go.
Yeah, give it a try because it sounds good to me. Yeah. Rice, vegetables, tofu, seaweed. What's not to like?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds great.
We're at number 6.
We are. We're up to the spicy lentil wrap, which sells for $4.99. This wrap contains layers of flavor. Lentils, cauliflower, sweet potato, and enough spice to keep it interesting. The secret weapon is the tamarind chutney, adding sweetness and tang throughout. Heated on a panini press, and the tortilla crisps while the inside becomes molten. It's the most complete meal in the prepared foods section. Contains wheat.
Uh-oh, we need a panini press.
That's what I was just thinking, because I'm sorry, I was thinking about lentils, cauliflower, and sweet potato spiced and becoming molten inside a crispy tortilla.
Yeah, like tamarind. I like tamarind.
I love tamarind.
Yeah. That sounds good. We've never tried that. Maybe
no, we haven't.
Maybe we'll pick one up and try it.
Yeah. Next, we have the vegan Caesar dressing, which sells for $3.99. The tofu base creates a creamy, garlicky, lemony dressing that makes raw kale palatable. You know, I don't like it when people diss raw kale. I love raw kale.
Yeah, but I mean, imagine just chewing on a leaf of raw kale without something to break it down a little bit. It's a little like chewing on cardboard texturally.
Okay.
You know?
It's brinier than traditional Caesar, more complex, and thick enough to coat without drowning. The flavor profile stands on its own merit rather than trying to replicate the original. Watch people who don't eat vegan food go back for seconds on salads dressed with this. Contains soy.
I think we have tried their vegan Caesar.
Yeah, we have.
A long time ago. And yeah, I mean,
I remember it being good.
It was totally respectable.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Number 4.
Number 4 is one of our favorites from Trader Joe's, and they are the mini vegetable samosas, which retail from $3.99 to $4.49. These are flaky phyllo dough, expertly spiced filling, sized for 2-bite consumption. They achieve what frozen appetizers aspire to be. In the air fryer, 400 degrees for 8 minutes, they become golden and shatteringly crisp.
Shatteringly crisp.
The filling, potatoes, peas, carrots, lentils, tastes like someone who knows Indian cooking was consulting. They disappear first at parties. Contains wheat.
Yeah, I can attest to that. They do disappear quickly.
Oh my gosh, I love these so much.
They're good.
These are another one that we tend to stock up on around the holidays.
Yeah.
Because even if we don't have company coming over, if we're busy and running around, like it's just so easy to say, oh, well, hey, why don't we, just
make
do
some of those
samosas and, dip them.
Yeah, they're good.
Oh, yeah. And dipped in hummus, dipped in tzatziki,
whatever.
Dipped in anything.
Yeah,
they are just amazing.
We've gotten their tzatziki and dipped them in that, and it's really good.
So good.
Yeah.
Because like mixing the Indian with the Mediterranean flavors, it just works.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like what's
raita.
It's kind of like a raita, which is the cucumber and yogurt sauce that comes with a lot of Indian foods.
Exactly.
So, it works. It totally works.
Yeah.
And it like tempers the spiciness a little bit.
Yep. Next, we have the vegetable fried rice.
Coming in at number 3.
At number 3. The sleeper hit that nobody talks about. It looks basic in its bag, but this frozen fried rice has the slight char and oil content that makes restaurant versions addictive. The vegetables maintain distinct textures, the sauce balance is spot on, and it reheats without becoming mushy. Add your own protein and you've got takeout quality dinner in 5 minutes. Contains soy and sesame.
Yeah, I have seen this, but I've never picked it up because I always just think, I'm not going to spend $3.50 for a bag of rice when I can make fried rice at home.
Yeah, and Christine actually made some gorgeous fried rice last night because I've been craving takeout Chinese for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
now
I made like an orange chicken with vegetable fried rice. It turned out really good.
It was fantastic.
I used Dino Buddies, believe it or not, and I had a store-bought jar of orange sauce, so it was a pretty quick meal. You know, the what took the longest was chopping the vegetables for the fried rice, but it turned out really good. It was really, it kind of scratched that takeout itch.
It really did.
You know,
yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah.
At the number 2 spot, we have Hold the Dairy mini chocolate frozen dessert cones.
Oh yeah, these I remember these.
Now I've clearly never seen these because if I had, we would have bought them.
We have bought these before. They're the tiny little ice cream cones. We've gotten them before, a long time ago.
I'm not remembering this.
She blocked it out.
I guess. Anyway, these mini cones filled with coconut-based ice cream shouldn't work as well as they do. The chocolate coating cracks perfectly, the cone stays crispy, and the ice cream is rich without that coconut sunscreen flavor that haunts lesser products. At 2 bites each, they're portion-controlled perfection. A group of 4 will demolish a box without realizing they're dairy-free.
Yeah, I think a group of 2, meaning us 2, could demolish a box. Because they are very tiny.
They are. They're very little.
They're like maybe 3-4 inches tall. Mm-hmm. And they're like little miniature replicas of, what were those cones that you used to be able to buy?
Oh, like king cones?
Kind of like a king cone,
what are the ones that you can still get at the grocery store?
Nutty
Buddy? No, Nutty Buddies are
a cookie.
That's a cookie, right?
I forget what they called them.
I do too. I can't remember what the name of the cone is, but anyway.
If you remember, drop us a line and let us know so we don't rack our brains over it. But they're good, and I'm surprised you don't remember them because I remember you liking them a lot.
Oh, see, I don't remember them. That's so weird.
Maybe we'll pick them up next time we're there.
Okay. And in the number 1 spot, we have the vegan cookies and cream vanilla bean bonbons, which sell for $3.99. These achieve what every vegan dessert should. They're so good that the vegan part becomes irrelevant. The coconut ice cream base is rich without heaviness, the cookie pieces maintain texture despite freezing, and the dark chocolate shell has the perfect thickness. They're 2-bite moments of actual perfection. People with lactose intolerance have been known to get emotional trying these for the first time. Stock up. Trader Joe's discontinuation wheel is ruthless.
That is true. They do discontinue products, whether they're popular or not, and it always amazes me. And it must be that Maya Flores, who wrote out this list, she's a sweet eater because her top 2, her top 2 are sweets. So, and my top 2 probably wouldn't be the sweets. But have we gotten these vanilla bean bonbons?
We have not.
I think I've seen them.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
I think I've seen them.
So anyway, Maya wraps up with the truth about shopping vegan at Trader Joe's. Here's what 2 months of systematic tasting revealed. The best vegan products at Trader Joe's aren't trying to fool anyone. They're not apologizing for what they're missing. The soy riso isn't pretending to be pork. It's just being the best version of seasoned soy. The bonbons aren't fake ice cream. They're their own perfect thing. Half the cart ends up being accidentally vegan anyway. The everything but the bagel seasoning, the chili lime rolled tortilla chips, the dark chocolate covered almonds. Trader Joe's succeeds when it stops trying to replicate and starts trying to create. The vegan Caesar doesn't taste like Caesar, but it tastes like something you actively want to eat. The customer photographing that empty feta shelf? I understand the impulse now. When you find something that works, really works in the landscape of plant-based alternatives, you develop attachment. These 20 products work. Stock up accordingly because Trader Joe's discontinuation pattern is swift and merciless.
So true. That is so true. And like I was saying, there are many vegan Trader Joe's groups like on Facebook. And when something like that happens and a product starts to disappear from the shelves, people do make these like panicky posts like, has anybody seen this? Because I've been to 2 or 3 Trader Joe's and I can't find them anywhere. And they told me they haven't been discontinued, but nobody's carrying them. And it's really funny to see how people react when the products start to disappear off the shelves because Trader Joe's is known for that.
Yes. Now, I do want to add a few products from Trader Joe's that are vegan, whether purposefully or accidentally, that I think should have made this list.
Okay.
Probably first among them is their Thai vegetable gyoza.
Oh, yeah. I'm really surprised those aren't on there.
These are just spectacular. And we don't get to Trader Joe's very often, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And so whenever we go, I'll stock up. Like I'll buy 6 bags.
Yeah, we always have. There's still a couple of bags in our
I know because
freezer.
I've been saving them.
Yeah, she covets.
I've been actively saving them.
Hoards them.
And it's because I'm out of another of the things on my list.
Oh, right.
Which is the Trader Joe's miso ginger broth.
Yeah, it's just a boxed broth, and it's really miso-y and gingery. It's really good.
Crazy good. And so if you cook the Thai veggie gyoza in the miso ginger broth, you get something kind of magical.
Yeah. And that broth is also really good if you want to make a quick ramen or something.
You bet it is. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
They also, the last time we were up at our Trader Joe's, probably towards the beginning of summer, they had some Korean style knife cut noodles.
Oh yeah, those were really good. Those
so
like squiggly.
Like Korean style ramen.
Yeah.
And they are fantastic. Just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I'd been ordering knife cut noodles off of Amazon for a little while.
Because they're hard to find. In our grocery store.
Yes. And so when Trader Joe's introduced these, I stocked up and they were far less expensive than the ones that I had been ordering on Amazon, and every bit as good.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons I want to make a Trader Joe's run, is so I can stock up on those noodles because they're all gone. And they would make a really good, take with me to work kind of lunch.
Yeah, they really would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd be great. Yeah. And then in the snack realm, 2 things that I think need to be mentioned.
Okay.
One, the crispy curls.
Oh, the crispy curls. They're like, are they lentil?
They are lentil and potato.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're insane.
Yeah.
They are so addictive.
They are. We really shouldn't buy them.
We really shouldn't because,
we can't seem to stop eating.
Again, we don't get to Trader Joe's very often. So we'll buy 2 or 3 bags.
They're small bags.
They are small bags, but still, we'll buy 2 or 3 and they don't really hang around that long. Because they are so light. They are so crispy. They are so flavorful. Just absolutely phenomenal.
They're not super salty, but if we open a bag, they're going to be gone in a couple of days.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then finally, again, in the sweets part of things, Scandinavian swimmers.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who like gummies out there, especially for me, the sour Scandinavian swimmers are just awesome.
Yeah, and if you go like towards a holiday time, they have all kinds of different shapes, right?
They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the things that I would like to add to the list.
Yeah, if we
off the top of my head.
We made our own list, those would be on. Let us know what some of your favorite, if you have a Trader Joe's near you, let us know what some of your favorites are that maybe we're missing when we go, because people post things and I'm like, I've never seen that, and there's a couple on this list that we've never tried. So let us know if you have some favorites at Trader Joe's. Let's move on now to our main topic.
Our main topic today is coming from Vox, and it looks into an unorthodox idea for solving one of the world's most underrated problems. In other words, they are explaining the wonky math of meat offsets.
Yeah, there is a lot of wonky math in here.
Earlier this month, a fundraiser for nonprofits that fight to end factory farming went a little viral, at least in one corner of the internet. Dvarkesh Patel, the influential tech podcaster, announced on his show that if his listeners donated a collective $250,000 to FarmKind, an organization that distributes money to anti-factory farming charities, so would he. They did, and then some. So far, Patel and his listeners, including Stripe CEO Patrick Collison, professional poker player Liv Boyry, and popular Substack writer Noah Smith, have raised over $2 million. For the global anti-factory farming movement, which works on a shoestring budget to fix one of the most challenging and neglected social issues of our time, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
The movement spent around $260 million last year in its effort to help tens of billions of abused land animals and a trillion or so fish. To put that into perspective, New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art spends far more annually to collect, store, and display art. So Patel helped raise the equivalent of almost 1% of the entire global movement's yearly budget. His pitch was simple. This is a really big problem, and charities have been able to make meaningful progress on it with little money. So by injecting even a relatively modest amount of extra funds into the cause, you can make a big difference. The organization that will distribute the money, FarmKind, makes the same pitch, but with a twist that Patel only hinted at. If you feel bad about eating meat, but don't want to go vegan, you can have the same impact by donating to charity instead. It's like carbon offsets, but for your diet.
Yeah.
FarmKind's website states, carbon offsets allow people to pay for an environmental good, like planting trees that absorb carbon dioxide, to offset a high carbon-emitting activity, like traveling by airplane. The concept makes intuitive sense. Most people think the factory farms that produce the vast majority of America's meat, eggs, and dairy are bad, but decades of vegan advocacy have failed to persuade more than 1% of Americans. Calls to eat less meat have proven largely ineffective, too. If sympathetic consumers are unwilling to change their diets, the thinking goes, they could still help by supporting cash-strapped organizations working to reduce animal suffering on farms and make plant-based eating more accessible. But I also worry that FarmKind's approach, known as moral offsetting, might absolve consumers who individually and collectively hold power to reduce the number of animals factory farmed for food of personal responsibility. So, can you actually offset your meat consumption with a donation? And more importantly, should you? Each year, the average American eats around 33 chickens, 8 fish, 228 shrimp, 1/3 of a pig, and 1/10 of a cow, for a total of 269.5 animals. According to FarmKind, it'll cost you $23 a month to offset the suffering those animals experience on factory farms. That's about the cost of a monthly Netflix premium subscription, Tom Norman, FarmKind's co-founder and director of outreach, told me. This doesn't mean that if you donate $23 per month, you save 269.5 animals or guarantee that someone else will go vegetarian in your stead. Rather, FarmKind estimates that with an extra $23 per month, the animal advocacy charities that receive your money can reduce animal suffering by an amount equivalent to the suffering experienced by 269.5 animals on factory farms. Take egg-laying hens, for example. More than half of egg-laying hens in the U.S. are indefinitely confined in tiny cages, a practice that represents some of the worst animal cruelty in our food system. Animal advocacy groups have successfully pressured hundreds of corporations, along with many state governments, to ban these cages. One of the leading cage-free advocacy groups, the Humane League, estimates that for every 85 cents they spend on these campaigns, they manage to get one hen out of a cage. Animal welfare experts have estimated that 1/3 of an egg-laying hen's total suffering can be attributed to their confinement in cages. With this in mind, getting 3 hens out of cages, which would cost the Humane League $2.55, is, according to FarmKind, the equivalent of ending the suffering of 1 factory-farmed hen.
It's interesting logic.
I think it's phenomenally faulty logic.
Well, yeah.
Okay, anyway. FarmKind uses similar analyses that attempt to quantify the suffering of pigs kept in tiny cages and the suffering inflicted by other cruel practices on factory farms. The organization acknowledges that there's a degree of uncertainty in these calculations, and it uses more conservative estimates to account for it. For example, it's hard to estimate the degree to which nonprofits that work to make plant-based eating more accessible translates to less animal suffering in the long run. And there are more fundamentally unknowable questions, like, given that we don't know what it's like to be a chicken, do we really know that cage confinement accounts for 1/3 of a hen's suffering? There are more practical unknowns, too, like whether a charity that has been effective in the past will be effective in the future. After years of success, their campaigns may hit diminishing returns. It's easy to dismiss these uncertainties as misleading, and I could further quibble with FarmKind's calculations. But what is clear is that the resource-poor anti-factory farming movement could make a lot more progress with more money, whether it's labeled an offset or not. Still, there's the thornier question as to whether a social movement should encourage people to donate to offset the harm they're causing, rather than to stop participating in it directly. FarmKind's answer to that question is an unequivocal yes, and it's one that's rooted in ruthless pragmatism. We know that people overall are actually really on board with the idea that factory farming in particular is terrible, Normand of FarmKind told me. And animal advocacy groups tend to give consumers one thing they can do to help: reduce or eliminate their meat consumption. It hasn't worked. In the U.S., rates of vegetarianism have stagnated, and while many people say they're actively reducing their meat intake, most are probably lying or fooling themselves. American per capita meat consumption has increased in recent years.
Yes, and more and more animals are dying at the hands of factory farming every year.
Yes, they are. In a better world, it would be easier to persuade people to change their diets. But in the world we've got, the next best thing, according to Norman, is to enrich the animal advocacy movement so that it can win more campaigns to reduce animal suffering on factory farms. As to whether meat offsets let people off the hook, morally speaking, Norman said he's uncertain. He doesn't know whether donating might make people who otherwise would have reduced their meat consumption refrain from doing so, or even increase their consumption. But he says that people donating to FarmKind aren't deciding between going vegan or donating to offset their meat consumption. Typically, they're thinking, should I offset or should I do nothing? Norman said, plus, he added, getting people to donate as a first step might make them feel a part of the movement and lead them to take other actions, like eating less meat or volunteering. I posed the question of offsets to Tyler John, a philosopher and philanthropic advisor who's thought deeply about animal ethics, philanthropy, and carbon offsetting. John is sympathetic to FarmKind's strategy and agrees that the animal advocacy movement needs to give the public more options to participate beyond just changing their diets, and that donating to the cause should be one of them. But whether or not that can truly offset an individual's meat consumption, he said, is a very complicated empirical question. He worries that the idea of meat offsets could further reinforce how little humans value the lives of animals raised and slaughtered for food. Few people would consider it morally sound to abuse a dog and offset that harm by donating to an animal shelter. But this is essentially what meat offsetting entails. In cases where we're morally outraged, we don't think that offsetting can wipe away the problem, John said. It's only in cases where we're morally disengaged and don't care that much about the moral issue that we think offsetting is okay. We also can't offset our way out of the factory farming problem, John said, because even if everyone were to offset their meat consumption, the meat industry would still raise and slaughter tens of billions of animals, albeit in modestly better conditions, every year. When I first learned about FarmKind, I instinctively winced at the idea that the suffering of farmed animals could be offset with a donation equivalent to a monthly Netflix subscription. I still wince at it when I think about the nature of that suffering. Billions of animals are trapped in cages, their tails, testicles, and beaks cut off with no pain relief, and overcrowded into noxious warehouses, forced to live in their own waste. I think that should be met with a bigger response than parting with $23 per month. But then I think about how the project to end factory farming, drastically reduce meat consumption, and shift the world toward a more plant-based food system will likely be a centuries-long one. And I can see meat offsets in another light. We're only about 50 years into the modern animal rights movement, and the current political, economic, and social conditions are such that the movement's primary goals are still far out of reach. What is in reach is reducing the suffering of animals unlucky enough to be born into the factory farm system and slowly normalizing plant-based eating. But those can only be achieved by a bigger, better resourced, more powerful animal advocacy movement. A sympathetic public could, at the very least, chip in to build that movement, and the success of Dvarkesh Patel's fundraiser suggests there are a lot of people eager to help in this way. I don't know if you can truly offset the suffering and death of one animal on a factory farm by making many others suffer a little less. But I know that to be an advocate for animals in 2025, you have to accept that most people agree that factory farming is terrible, but are unwilling to do what is needed to end it. You then have to meet them where they are, which is painfully far from what animals need. A few years ago, carbon offset expert John Haller told Vox that it's more helpful to think of carbon offsets as simply a tool for routing money toward good things, like green energy and forest conservation, rather than as a true offset of your own carbon footprint. You're purchasing carbon credits to contribute to global decarbonization, he said, not making a claim against your own emissions. We should think about meat offsets in the same way. They don't, and can't, absolve humanity of its abuse of billions of animals, but they do help to build a better world that many of us want to see, but can't yet bring ourselves to realize.
This is, wow. This is a complicated issue.
It is. And first, can I say, fabulously written article. Kenny Torella knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. The Vox,
fantastic.
The Vox article, the writers for Vox are usually on point.
Yeah, fantastic.
They're usually really well-written articles. And this, wow, talk about your moral dilemmas. FarmKind is a great organization, but the way, it makes me uncomfortable the way that they're promoting this, you know? But I can see how this can benefit the movement. It's a really sticky subject.
It is. And my concern with it really, because I do understand that the animal advocacy movement needs to be better funded. There's no question about that.
Absolutely.
Of course it does. And I suppose in some ways you have to get the money any way you can. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, this particular advertising campaign for me has basically just said, hey, eat as many animals as you want.
Right.
Just donate money so you don't have to feel bad about it.
Right.
And I have a problem with that.
Oh, I have a huge problem with how they're presenting it to people. Yeah, yes. I have a huge problem with that. I think that it can be much better presented so that people aren't really looking at it as buying their way out of feeling bad about consuming animals from factory farming. There's got to be a better way.
There really does. And I also don't know how in the heck they can quantify the pain and suffering
yeah.
of a single animal.
I don't think that they really can.
No, I really do think that's impossible.
No, I think it is impossible for them to quantify how much suffering they can reduce and put a dollar value on that. But I think what it is they're just trying to appeal to people in what sounds like a logical way, you know?
And there are so many people in the world who would absolutely agree that factory farming is terrible and needs to be eviscerated.
Yeah, it needs to be abolished. It really does. And I understand that it is true that, 9 out of 10 people that you ask do you agree with the practices of factory farming and the animal agriculture industry, they're going to say no.
Of course, but that same 9 out of 10 people is going to be unwilling
to change their ways.
Their meat consumption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's got to be a middle ground here somewhere.
You'd think.
You'd
really think.
Yeah. It's really interesting. And I do agree that this is kind of a genius way to funnel money into the movement. It's just I don't agree with how they're presenting it to people, that they're putting, a dollar value on animal suffering.
I agree. I completely agree.
But really interesting, and I could think about this for a really long time and think about
for sure.
how could they better present this to people. And, Mr. Patel, thank you for
seriously
putting up the $250,000, and then your listeners, thank you to all of them for matching it and exceeding
and then
it.
some. I mean, seriously,
that is fabulous. It is fabulous. But you are not buying your way out of, feeling guilty about consuming animals. You can't buy your way out of that.
Well, because what they're trying to do by buying their way out of feeling bad about it is to buy their way out of responsibility.
Yeah.
And that's just not possible.
Yeah.
If you are paying someone directly or indirectly to kill animals for you that you are then going to consume, you are responsible for the suffering.
You are responsible. And while you might feel a little better because you donated a significant sum of money to help a movement that's trying to reduce the suffering of those animals, as long as you're continuing to consume them, you're still part of the problem.
That's right.
We'll never get to where we need to be.
That's right. The good doesn't erase the bad.
It doesn't. But really interesting article. Thank you, Vox.
Great article. Yes, love that.
It's time for our assignment restaurant, SOS.
This week, we're taking a look at Hip City Veg. They've got 2 locations in Philadelphia and 1 in Washington, D.C. Those are located at 127 South 18th Street in Philadelphia, also at 121 South Broad Street, Philadelphia. And the D.C. location is at 712 7th Street Northwest in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, let's take a look at Hip City Veg's menu. I've heard good things. I've heard lots of good things.
Well, they lead right off with some absolutely beautiful burgers and sandwiches. Yeah, so again, here we're looking at kind of a fast food, comfort food type of place.
It is definitely scratching the kind of fast food itch.
Yeah, absolutely.
They also have chicken sandwiches and wraps, smoky, sweet, crispy chicken wrap. Oh, of course, it's *N. And that comes with their crispy chicken, carrot, cabbage, and their Hip City sauce on a whole wheat wrap. I like a good wrap.
I do love a good wrap. I'm also really interested in their miso noodle chicken salad, which is spicy glazed *N, udon noodles, romaine, carrot, cabbage, scallion, and a miso dressing. That sounds fantastic. I'm sure I would love that. Well, they do some nice sides. They've got sweet potato fries and onion rings and French fries, and they've got a quinoa chili.
Oh,
that I am most certainly interested in.
Yeah, that's an interesting side.
And I've got to say, they have shakes.
Yeah, they do.
They really do. They have vanilla chocolate and a seasonal flavor as well, and they are made with organic soy ice cream. That's always one of those things. I mean, I know we finally got a shake at Strong Hearts.
Yeah.
Last time we were there.
They're really good.
And it was ridiculously good. So now every time I see a shake, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Milkshake.
That sounds good.
Milkshakes
That sounds
good.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool thing about Hip City Veg is that they also do catering.
Yes,
So
indeed.
That's cool. If you have an event or a lunch for work or something like that, you can get them to cater all these great burgers and sandwiches and wraps and nuggets and all those great sides and salads.
And again, the menu is relatively small, but I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
I love it when people do a few things really, really well.
Yeah. Yeah, we've said that in the past. It is good to keep a smaller menu and do them really, really good.
For sure.
What burger would you get?
What burger would I get?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'd probably get what they're calling the Ziggy Burger, which is a juicy bacon cheeseburger with provolone cheese, organic tempeh bacon, lettuce, onion, pickle, and their special sauce on a toasted bun.
I was actually thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the Smokehouse Burger, which is their grilled burger with the smoked Gouda cheese, hand-battered onion rings, barbecue sauce. Like, that also sounds really fantastic to me.
That one sounds pretty decadent with the onion rings on the burger.
Yes. And they also have a Real Deal Veggie Burger, which is a chickpea-based burger.
Yeah.
And it's jam-packed with organic veggies and grains, topped with lettuce, onion, pickle, special sauce, and it is on a toasted bun. So that would be great, too.
That would be. And if you're a more plain Jane kind of person, they have burgers called the Basic B.
And the Double B.
And the Double B.
Which is the Basic B, just with an extra patty.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. So if you are in Philadelphia, check out one of their 2 locations there. And if you're in D.C., check out their location there in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Get yourself some really tasty looking vegan food. And if you do go to Hip City Veg, or have recently gone to Hip City Veg, send us a picture of your meal there and let us know what you got. And we'll put you in line to win a dinner from our vegan dinner winner contest.
That's right.
You can go back to Hip City Veg and say, hey, Compassion and Cucumbers are buying me dinner tonight.
That's right.
And I'm getting the Basic B.
That's kind of awesome.
It's time for our favorite portion of the show.
Must be listener shout out time.
It's listener shout out.
Just want to give a shout out to all my fans watching. I love you guys. I love you.
This week's shout out goes to Angelina Bell, who is a social media supporter. Thanks for supporting us, Angelina.
Yeah, thank you so much for supporting us and always commenting or liking our social media posts. You can send us your t-shirt size and address so we can send you a CNC swag bag. Text us that information using the link in our show notes, or email us at compassionandcucumbers@gmail.com, or simply DM us on Instagram or Facebook because we want to send you a swag bag.
And for the rest of you out there, if you want a listener shout out, please text, email, or DM us. Let us know what you think of the show and tell us a little bit about yourself. You can also always nominate someone else for a shout out.
Yeah, do someone a solid. Nominate them for a shout out. We'll send them a swag bag.
Yeah.
They get a free t-shirt and some stickers and some buttons and God knows what else I'll throw in there.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll throw in some egg rolls or something. You don't know.
Have you ever thrown egg rolls into a swag bag?
No, I really haven't. But you never know.
You never do. It's true. It's true.
Anyway, let's wrap this baby up. But before we go, don't forget to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube because we're trying to grow our YouTube a little bit. We need more subscribers over there. Share the show with a friend or a family member that you think would enjoy what we do so we can reach more great people just like you. And if you want to get news about the show, you can do that by subscribing to our weekly newsletter at our website, which is compassionandcucumbers.com.
And with that, it's time to sign off. You have just listened to episode 197 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast, and there's nothing left to say but where cukes and compassion are always the fashion on the podcast.
Thanks, James.
Have a great week, everyone.
Hey, we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
We love you.
We do. Bye-bye.
The end.
If you'd like to support the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast, well, you can do that by hopping on over to our Patreon page and becoming a patron. We have all the recipes from our vegan kitchen series up there, and we'll be adding some patron-only episodes in the near future. So thank you for supporting us at whatever level that you choose, and thank you again for listening to Compassion and Cucumbers podcast.